Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. I apologize, I'm having kind of a bad hair day today. I haven't done really much of shit today. So yeah, that's why my hair is all fucked up. But anyway, that's not why we're here. I want to talk about a narrative, or not necessarily a narrative, more so an idea going around on YouTube right now with a lot of basketball YouTubers, basically saying that the Lakers should trade LeBron James. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't think it's as bad as an idea as a lot of people make it sound. It sounds crazy on the surface, right? Like LeBron. Why would the Lakers trade LeBron, you know? But the thing is, the Lakers are not a good team. Okay, I'm just going to call it what it is. I mean, I actually have, like, betting slips in my drawer here for betting on the Lakers to win it all this year once they got Russell Westbrook. Mostly because I thought the star power they had would be enough to at least be a 500 basketball team, and they're not even that, okay? They've been suffering some pretty embarrassing losses lately. They lost to the Pelicans, which was a very bad loss. Then they lost to Dallas, and then they lost to the Los Angeles Clippers, and it's to a point now where LeBron James has actually come out and publicly admitted that the Clippers are a better basketball team than they are. And when you look at the Lakers roster and how it's structured over the next, 2 or 3 years, the Lakers have no chance at winning anything. I hate to say that, and I know that sounds like almost like a bold statement. Like, how could a team with Carmelo Anthony and LeBron and Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook and Trevor Ariza not have any potential to win a ring? And the fact of the matter is, if you look at all the varying factors around it, they have a lot of talent, but they're not what they used to be, okay? Like, this is the oldest team in the fucking NBA as far as age-wise goes. They don't play defense. Neither does LeBron. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to leave LeBron out of the criticism here. LeBron's defense has fallen off a fucking cliff in the last couple of years. Anthony Davis is, for whatever reason, just not Anthony Davis of last year. I don't know why. He's been a disappointment to my fantasy team this year. Russell Westbrook has fallen off a cliff as well. Russell Westbrook is at a point in his career where I think he's more of a sixth man than he'll ever be like a starter. Like, maybe Russell Westbrook will be a starter on a shitty team somewhere trying to sell tickets one day, but as far as a guy who's going to contribute to you making the playoffs, he's a fucking horror story. Russell Westbrook's athleticism is like starting to take a dip, and the idea that he can't shoot jump shots, the idea that he seems to have like zero feel for the game, the idea that he's a turnover machine, Russell Westbrook's days in the NBA are kind of numbered, okay? And that's just me being perfectly honest with you. And the reason people are bringing up the trade LeBron James thing is because, well, LeBron James is still playing basketball well. I don't know what a LeBron James trade looks like, but we're going into the offseason here where Russell Westbrook, I think, has like a $36 million player option or some shit like that, or $40 million player option, somewhere in that vicinity. And Russell Westbrook would be fucking stupid not to accept it. Granted, there are rumors that there's mutual interest between Russell Westbrook and the Lakers in parting ways, but, Russell Westbrook, 36 million, anywhere from 30 to 40 million in a year, he's not going to get paid that ever again. Okay, that's a given at this point. Russell Westbrook is never going to get a contract again like he currently has. And so what will most likely happen is Russell Westbrook will pick up his player option this offseason because he would be the dumbest player in the world to decline it and become an unrestricted free agent. He's probably going to accept it, and the Lakers are going to have to trade him. And I don't know what the trade market for Russell Westbrook looks like. I would assume the only team that's interested in Russell Westbrook or doing a swap for Westbrook would be the Houston Rockets. And yeah, you'll get John Wall in exchange and maybe some other stuff, who knows, picks, or maybe you have to send a pick, I don't know. But It's just the idea, man. Like, even if the Lakers get John Wall, okay, they still don't have any cap space to sign anybody. Everybody they would have to sign in the offseason would have to be a vet minimum guy, because Russell Westbrook and John Wall have almost equivalent salaries. So it's like, even if you trade John Wall or Russell Westbrook for John Wall, your team doesn't get significantly better. And we're at a point now where it's like Anthony Davis is, I don't know what Anthony Davis is. I don't know what he's going to be. Just hasn't been himself this year. And LeBron is 37. And you could still get something for LeBron. There are teams out there that would, I would say, give you some significant assets to get LeBron James. Granted, I think LeBron has a no trade clause, and he would have to waive it in the offseason, I think, because obviously the trade deadline is passed. They can't trade him now. But, you know, we're also approaching the idea here that there's potential that LeBron doesn't pass Kareem all-time scoring. Now, I understand LeBron has passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all-time scoring in points plus the playoffs. Okay, that's with the playoffs included. But as far as regular season scoring goes, LeBron is still third on the all-time scoring list. And I just wonder, how many games is LeBron gonna play for you? Because he's not for nothing, man. He's been getting injured. We're seeing that LeBron is human this year. That's something we're starting to see. He's not playing as much. He hasn't played anywhere near as many games as he has a couple of years ago. It's obvious LeBron is finally starting to decline. But that doesn't mean that LeBron isn't still a good player. LeBron is still able to go out and get you 26, 7, and 7, or something of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? So there is still a market out there for LeBron. I guarantee you the Knicks would be all in on LeBron. They've been trying to get LeBron since fucking 2010. The Chicago Bulls, maybe the Warriors get involved. There's a couple teams out there that would really like to use LeBron James and could give him a chance at, getting another ring. So there's even I doubt Memphis, but like even Memphis might be able to get into the mix on a LeBron James trade or something. Like there's a lot of teams out there. Phoenix, like Phoenix might, I don't know what they would offer or what a LeBron James trade looks like for Phoenix, but there's all of the top teams out there, like Golden State, Phoenix, Chicago, Miami, you know what I'm saying? Even Cleveland maybe could be in the mix. There's a lot of teams out there with some assets that could bring LeBron in, and they would be an instant championship contender. And I just think at the current point in time, the idea that the Lakers should trade LeBron is not as crazy as people make it out to be. It sounds insane because I think LeBron has technically only been traded once in his career, and it was a sign-and trade. I think that was when he went to Miami or Cleveland or something. But LeBron has never been traded. And the Lakers are at a point where that roster is not good enough to win. It's never going to be good enough to win. Unless Anthony Davis has some crazy resurgence next year, unless they improve on their defense and, improve the personnel around LeBron and AD, it's not going to work. It's just not. It's something that is not worth putting the time into. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers explore trading LeBron James. Everyone's saying that they should trade Anthony Davis. I don't believe that. I don't think the Lakers would trade Anthony Davis, even if he is not playing like himself. He's still a top 5, top 6 power forward in the league, even this year. Like, statistically this year, Anthony Davis has been in the pretty much the top 5 most of the year. He's actually was the ranked second, like the second best power forward statistically in the league, even with a down year. So Anthony Davis is still good, but the thing is, I just don't know how much of this you can actually salvage. It doesn't make sense to keep LeBron on the Lakers if they don't have the personnel around them to be a successful team. It's like your personnel is like LeBron and AD, and that's kind of where the train stops. You have Austin Reeves, who was nice for them. Stanley Johnson was a solid pickup, but you got so many guys on that roster that are just not good. Malik Monk was good, but like you have Kent Bazemore, who is fucking null and void. They just waived DeAndre Jordan in order to pick up DJ Augustin. Carmelo Anthony's not a model of defense. LeBron's not a model of defense. Russell Westbrook's a fucking horror story. I mean, you can just go on and on about this team. Trevor Ariza honestly needs to retire at this point. I mean, like, they're just, Avery Bradley is not what he used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these guys that they have on their roster are guys that are like on vet minimum deals. And then once they get into the offseason, even if they trade Westbrook for John Wall, every guy they sign is going to have to be a vet minimum guy. So they're going to have to get people to want to come play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis for legitimately like fucking nothing. For like what, 1.62 million or something like that, or like 2 million or something like that, whatever the vet minimum in the league is. And most players are not going to do that. So I don't know, man. I don't think the sentiment around trading LeBron James is as crazy as people think. But I will say this: if LeBron wants to win another ring, or really make a serious run, like, because obviously at this point in his career, LeBron just wants to win. I don't think even being number one in scoring matters as much to him as getting another championship ring. I wouldn't even be surprised if LeBron asks for a trade in the offseason, because the Lakers are a fucking disaster ever since the Russell Westbrook trade, and it's not getting any better. The Lakers clearly lost the Russell Westbrook trade. Kyle Kuzma's balling his ass off in Washington right now. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, still a decent player. Montrezl Harrell doesn't even play for the Wizards anymore. He's now on the Charlotte Hornets. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious at this point. The Lakers lost that trade. And, honestly, it's not as crazy as I thought. Should the Lakers trade LeBron James? Probably. And I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron James requests a trade this offseason. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I've been the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.